For men who used to be creepy towards women and have since stopped, what was it that made you realize you were creepy that prompted you to change? Hearing women complain and thinking, oh crap, I've done that. Seriously has helped me improve a lot of things. Reading threads on the internet did the same for me. Reading complaints was like staring into a mirror and being horrified. Yep, for me it was when the neckbeard and nice guy memes and stuff started and it was too close for comfort. That's epic self-reflection. I get the feeling the internet has allowed for way more self-awareness, since now a creepy guy would see women complaining about other creepy guys, women who likely wouldn't explain it directly to the guy's face, resulting in him never learning. The flip side is that when these guys are unwilling to be honest with themselves, can find confirmation bias support communities of other creepy dudes, incels, etc., who will validate them. In middle school, I was a mid-puberty, horniness-stricken, little perv. I didn't do a good job of concealing it either. I would always get really close to my one friend because I liked her at the time, and looking back it was so wrong to do. It took me looking at what they were thinking and how my behavior affected them to really stop being creepy. Hindsight helps a lot as well. I remember the hugs that lingered a little too long, the hands that went a little too low, the where's my hugs, lack of personal space, etc. that I got from boys in middle school. I'm honestly glad to hear reflection happens on your all's side. Where's my hugs? Back home in your mother's arms. Best I can do is a shrug. Trust me, it does. I was the same way as that guy. I did lots of things I look back on with embarrassment and regret. Nothing too bad, I know, easy for me to say when I wasn't the person it happened to. I never crossed the line like it was the finish line of the 40-yard dash, but I definitely took a step or two past it. I regret all of it. If I could apologize to everyone I did it to, me would. But I can't, so I focus on being a better person, not that this is an issue now. I've never gotten that from boys my own age. It's always the men 20 to 40 years older. I have a male coworker who will stand really close behind me or my other female coworkers. Sometimes it scares the crap out of me because I'll turn around and he's there right behind me. Guys, what is this? Is it a power move? I'm so tempted to say back the F up when he does this. He's also helpful in a way that implies he thinks me or my other female coworkers aren't capable. Women, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a difference between offering to help and then completely taking over a task from someone without asking. It sounds creepy, whatever it is. Next time I'd either say, can you back up? Or can you not stand so close behind me? And see how he reacts. I'd pretend they weren't there and do one of those back stretches where you lean back and then point your bent elbows behind you and twist your back. They'd only get elbowed if they were inappropriately close. I've had lots of male coworkers touch me unnecessarily, box me into a corner, even massage my shoulders, etc. It's so uncomfortable and surprisingly difficult to confront them about it, which feels terrible because I know a man would just say, what the F, dude? And that would be the end of it. I usually just awkwardly laugh and say, whoa, personal space. One of the pies I worked under in my undergrad talked about this. She basically said, you kind of have to accept they're going to think you're a bitch for telling them to back off. As long as you aren't a bitch to people for silly reasons, everybody else will understand. They do it because in their mind, it's as far as they can go while still rationalizing it's okay, I'm doing nothing wrong, and I can defend this if others call me out. That level is different for different guys. Can relate very much. Growing self-awareness that I wasn't the center of the goddamn universe. Went through a chasing potential girlfriends too hard phase in my earlier adult years, including mistaking simple offers of friendship and work colleague status for actual interest. It wasn't stalking level and it never reached the point of discipline, or even commenting, but it was probably to the point of being a little unprofessional and uncomfortable for the girl involved. That was decades ago and I'm now with a company that doesn't tolerate that sort of thing. I went on a date with a guy who had stalked a coworker and been fired for it. He mentioned that he had been fired from a job and I asked what happened. He explained that he had used his security clearance as part of the IT department to find this woman's phone number and proceeded to text her explaining who he was and how he got her number. I told him it was kind of creepy, and that he should have expressed his interest to her rather than sneaking around to find her number. After the date he ghosted me, Then texted me months later saying he was desperate for a cuddle buddy. Yeah, no thanks. Something similar happened to a woman on r/2X chromosomes. The guy went through her medical records to get her phone number and sent her a bunch of texts. Then after she posted her story, a bunch of nice guys flooded her PMS telling her not to report him as that would ruin his career. The man flagrantly violated HIPAA in hopes of getting laid. He deserves to have his career ruined. Reddit link. There was an Am I the Butthole post a couple days ago, same thing. Guy starts getting messages from his ex, who he had changed his number to get away from. Turns out she had gotten it from his medical records. Absolutely disgusting. Edit, may have been legal advice, not am I the butthole. Ruin his career. When you get down to it, he ruined his career the moment he went through those records. It's just a matter of time thing after that, and reporting is her responsibility. Absolutely. He was asking for it. What the hell is with the cuddle buddy thing? I don't know why it irritates me so much, but it just seems like FWB, but less fun. I think it's because cuddle buddy feels dishonest. It doesn't seem like they actually want someone to sit on the couch with, or something innocent like that. It feels like a tactic to get you to come over, and then pressure you into more. I love cuddling with my friends, and sharing physical contact. I would never agree to be someone's cuddle buddy. You're right. First it's a movie, then a hand hold, then a hand going up your leg. You ain't slick. My mom told me all about this move. Was target of this at an independent game dev in the mid-2000s? Comforting to know that at least some people gain the self-awareness to figure it out. How did the self-awareness grow, if I might ask? Good managers and good friends that, in the first case, had the integrity to give me an honest review, and in the second case, called me out on my selfish bullcrap. They did not comment on my creepy dysfunction specifically. But they did call me out on my mild narcissism and self-centeredness, using plain and unmistakable language. And that made me think about myself a lot more in the context of how others actually saw me. Good for you for using it as an opportunity to grow and improve. Saw this answer some time ago. It was this dude that tried to confess to the girl he liked by going to her apartment and make her dinner with candles, flowers and all that crap. But then the girl came home and the first thing she said was, "Are you going to kill me?" But I don't understand, how did he get in? Did he steal her key? Did he break in? Did he have the key to begin with? Did he ask her roommate for help? Because all of those are creepy, just varying levels of creepiness. I don't really remember actually. But I do remember that she did not have roommates if I'm not wrong. I don't even know if he talked about the key thing in his post. But also it's been years so. I remember this. I think they were friends but not close enough for him to do something like that. If I recall correctly he had a key he didn't break in. Anyone remember the dude who showed up to his significantly younger girlfriend's super professional finance job on Wall Street dressed entirely in orange with orange balloons and an orange bouquet with orange chocolates etc., singing or something, because it was her birthday and orange was her favorite color? And then got angry at her when she asked him to leave? And then posted on Am I the Butthole about it? Edit, I can't find it, help. Also this story. Web link. I remember the story, and I don't think it was their closeness that was the problem, it was the big montage he'd prepared of numerous different photographs of her. When I first started dating my current girlfriend about 2 years ago, I got her orange flowers for her birthday because I thought she had said orange was her favorite color. She loved the flowers but asked why orange? And I said because that's your favorite color, right? She just laughed and wondered why in the world I thought that, her favorite color is green. But now for any romantic occasion where I get flowers for her, she basically demands that they be orange just so we can have a laugh. At the risk of sounding like a creep, it's trivially easy to get into most homes. If he justified it as being romantic breaking in probably wouldn't have taken much effort. Reminds me of Always Sunny when Mac is trying to get with Dennis and Dee's aunt. I made you breakfast. How did you get in? The door is solid, but the window is not. But don't worry, you're always safe when you're with me. I hope you like breakfast crispy, because it is burned. I'm sexually active mom, get over it. You're 33 years old, you're supposed to be sexually active. To piggyback on user recovering butthole, most home invasions don't even break into a house, they just walk through the front door, 22%, or a first floor window that's not locked. Web link. Reddit link. My flatmate goes out and leaves the door open, or comes home and smokes a joint and goes to sleep without locking it. Like. Dude, we don't live in the Shire, there's webams with chibs out there. Even if you did live in the Shire, if you give them half a chance the Sackville Bagginses will rob you blind. There's what with what out there? Sorry, not familiar with webams and chibs but definitely interested to know. Webams are the Scottish version of the Children of the Corn. How did that guy not understand in anywhere in that plan that he was breaking into her home? I would be astonished if this hasn't happened in a rom-com and been successful. Reminds me of in Twilight when Edward was breaking into Bella's house to watch her sleep at night, if I recall correctly it was before they had even spoken to one another. Rom-coms have really made a mess of quite a lot of people's expectations of what reality would or should be. Not just rom-coms. Have you ever gone back and watched comedies from the late 70s and early 80s? Like every fourth joke is straight up rape. How much pasta do you have to cook for 2 people and 2 cops? Somehow I'd still end up with too little or too much. Pasta portions are impossible to guess. I once made pasta for 3 and perfectly portioned it out without generating an unexpected mountain of leftovers. Then I woke up. I too dream of Italian food. I feel so bad for that poor woman. She must have been terrified. Talking to women, becoming friends with women, changing my circle of friends, growing up, learning empathy, and the final nail in the coffin was sobriety. What age did you go sober? I'm reaching that point in my life where drinking is no longer fun, assuming you're talking about drinking. I do it out of habit more than anything, however I've been good about not senselessly drinking lately and I feel so much better in the mornings. I'm thinking of riding this out into the spring and summer and trying to leverage the extra motivation to be more physically active. Mid-20s. I'm in my early 30s now. Best decision you will ever make, trust me. Combining it with caring for your body and mind in other ways makes staying sober easier and also enhances those feelings of well-being. I used to have this older man always flirt and be unprofessional towards me at work when I first started. I was around 24 years old. After I had enough of his weird comments and flirting, I told him that he has a daughter the same age as me, which was true because he'd talk about his family at times, and that how would he like it if some older man was talking to his daughter like that and making sexual comments to her. He became less weird and flirtatious and more regular, holding normal conversations. He moved ships so I don't even see him anymore. I had a man at work who was beyond inappropriate, always, all the time, and the daughter comment was what finally did it for him too. We were sitting in a room, I was quietly working on computer/paperwork stuff with a headphone in, and from the silence behind me he asked, "Do you like getting your hair pulled when you get effed?" I spun around in my chair and said, "Can you even imagine someone talking to your daughter like that? Like holy crap. Wow, that's extremely inappropriate." I probably would have reported that to HR. It was the Navy, HR didn't really exist there unfortunately. But I did learn what I did/did not want to put up with in a work environment. Lol. I read your post and immediately thought, this person must have been in the military. It's so sad the way things are swept under the rug in the military and that they aren't held to a high standard. I am sorry this happened to you, but I like how you handled it and snapped back at the person. I appreciate you. I was a little scared too at first because I was very young and new to the ship, but it got to a point where I sat down with myself and thought, if I don't do something/say something, this can only get worse and I don't want to know what worse looks like. Geesh, that goes a few steps beyond inappropriate to me. That is shockingly inappropriate. There are many things that happen in the Navy that are shockingly inappropriate that end up just becoming normal. I've seen a lot of variations of this, followed by he should see women as people without having to view the situation in the context of someone he loves. Which is absolutely true, of course, but I think it misses the point. Some people just don't make that leap until you demonstrate it for them. Kudos to you for getting through to him. Kudos to him for taking the specific example you gave him. I don't want someone to be a creep to my daughter, and being able to generalize it, I shouldn't be a creep. Ideally that wouldn't have been needed, but obviously it was, and this time it did the trick. They aren't laughing because I'm funny, they're laughing because they're scared. Edit. Thanks for the votes and awards, everyone. I was sure that this would get me nothing but criticism for being a creeper in my youth. I had a roommate who did not understand this. We couldn't bring girls over like ever because he was constantly creeping them out, but in his head he thought he was flirting. Edit. For those who want to know some of the things he'd say or do. We'd have friends over, girls usually, and he'd make weird jokes that wouldn't land. He'd fidget with a pocket knife, opening and closing it constantly in a fast motion. One friend said it freaked her out and he just stares into her eyes, not blinking, and keeps doing it. We all had to tell him to stop and he wouldn't stop until the unbearable cringe of the moment got to him and he was almost in tears. It was some real Michael Scott / Charles the New Boss bull crap. I mentioned his behavior at a party below. I could get in more details, but there's more of him just being extremely obnoxious and needy around women. Oh man. Thank you for realizing the difference. It is really hard to suppress the nervous "how can I get out of this situation safely" giggles. Or the "what the F that's so weird" giggles. Or the "I don't know how else to react but it's definitely not good" giggles. I'm in danger chuckles. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.